Welcome to the Rig and Farm YouTube channel. In Farm Vlog 69, we will show you our tractor disaster, the beautiful chicken eggs we're getting, and 2 new litters of baby bunnies. Cheep Cheep was one of our first layers of the year. She and the others have quickly figured out that these nesting boxes are the best place to lay. It's better for the chickens, and the eggs are cleaner than when they lay them on the ground or in the coop. This chicken doesn't have a name yet. Go to our Patreon page to find out how to name her. They both laid eggs. Check out this beautiful dozen and keep watching to find out how you can get eggs like these. We picked up 200 pounds of chick starter feed for the 35 new chickens we're getting in a few weeks. They're going to be raised specifically for meat. 25 of them will take about 7 to 8 weeks to grow out, and the other 10 are a different breed that will take 12 to 14 weeks. These pine shavings will go on the floor of the brooders, and we got more feeders and waterers for each of the 3 new brooders we made out of these free dog crates we got. We're going to set them up behind our home because we'll need to plug in their heat lamps for the first month of their lives before they're able to go out to pasture like the other chickens. This is Mary. This is her nest with a little bit of fur that she's ripped out. 2 days later, the nest is full of her babies. Poe is also hard at work making a nest. She wasn't as prepared as Mary. If you look closely behind her, you'll see that a baby came before the nest was ready and it died from being exposed to the cold air. This sweet baby would have looked just like its mama. Meanwhile, Poe is frantically getting the nest built so her other babies don't die as well. Thanks for coming to say hi, but you have work to do. She was fighting the wind that day and lost a lot of fur before it made it to the nest. A few hours later, she was finished and had the rest of her babies. A few days afterwards, she was hanging out next to the nest and gave us the opportunity to peek at her babies. There is definitely some movement, but we don't want to uncover them and risk getting them exposed to the cold air. Our 2 ducks always love a freshly cleaned and filled pond. We plan on making a larger pond for them once we get the birds' new fencing installed. Our 10-year plan includes having an acre-sized pond in the back of our property, so our future ducks will be able to live in luxury. We'll also have it stocked with a variety of fish, so we will be able to catch catfish, bluegill, and bass at the farm. Our CSA subscription service is officially accepting members. Community-supported agriculture is where the eater and grower share the risk and rewards from farming. Individuals who support a local farm get the first pick of produce, flowers, eggs, and meat before the rest goes to market. Helping a small family-run farm cuts out the middleman, saving money for the consumer and the farmers. We're starting our first subscription for an 8-week late spring and early summer season. Our members can choose weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly pickup and choose from a variety of products we offer. The more you buy, the more you save. We'll have a few pickup places and times each week and a delivery option for an additional fee. If you're local to the North Metro Atlanta area, send us an email to csa@rigandfarm.com to set up your subscription or ask us questions. We will have retail cuts of heritage pork available at the beginning of August. Our Berkshire Hereford Cross pigs live a happy life on 2 acres of wooded pasture. The 2 males we're butchering for retail sale will be unlike anything you've ever gotten from the grocery store. They are outside and free to wander to eat whatever they find in the ground. We'll be planting things for them to eat directly into their paddocks very soon after the last frost. These happy pigs have different muscle and fat composition from the average commercial pig. Their superior genetics combined with a healthy environment and diet will make their meat more flavorful than any pork you've ever tasted. These pigs are super friendly and playful. They get a little wild at times and like to nibble on my boots. One of them bit a little too hard and split the back of my right boot. The left one has a little hole in the outer side, but the mud is covering the opening and my sock. Time to buy a new pair of boots. Last week's vlog showed that we got 20 tons of lime delivered to our property. We used our tractor to spread and till it into our garden and other areas of the farm. This back portion of the property is where we plan to raise cattle. The lime is necessary to raise the pH of the soil in order to grow healthy grass and legumes for the animals to eat. The slope won't be a problem for the cattle to graze, but tractors don't perform well on hills. Last week I was wearing our GoPro while driving downhill and nearly tipped over when I hit a soft spot of the ground. After working hard all week, we finished with a lime. Although, the very last load needed to be spread in a particularly steep section of the hill. I would be dead right now if the roll bar had been down or I wasn't wearing my seatbelt. My right arm hit the ground and got scratched up, but I'm fine otherwise. It took me about 5 minutes to finally get out of the seatbelt and walk down to ask our neighbors to help flip the tractor upright. We've said it before, and we're going to say it again. We have the absolute best neighbors. We're extremely fortunate to have such great people living close to us. Our neighbor Al strapped the back of his tractor to our rear axle and drove up the hill to get the tractor back on all 4 tires. After letting the fluids in the tractor settle for 24 hours, we started it and drove it back down the hill. Now it smokes and sounds horrible when running. It's lost a significant amount of power and stalls when worked hard. We filed an insurance claim and will update you in a future video. Now that we have the lime spread, we need to wait for the rain to dissolve and leach it into the soil before planting grass seed. We got enough seed for the front of the property and the chicken section and surrounding areas. We'll see how these 3 different seed blends work before seeding the back pasture. Make sure you subscribe if you don't already to watch that process and see how the grass grows. We're very excited to cover up all this brown with some lush green. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time!